Today on Rock the Park. It's time to test our limits.
I don't think I can do that.
To explore what's possible.
I've been looking at this thing my whole life.
When we face our fears head on.
Holy cow, that's a long way down.
Today, we're climbing the Grand Teton. Woo! And it all starts right now.
This is the real deal.
I'm Jack Stewart. And I'm Colton Smith. We've been buddies for years, and we love exploring the national parks.
It's all about packing up a car and just doing it. Just hitting the road.
Our goal is to visit every national park in this country.
And when you go off the beaten path like we do,
there's no telling what will happen next.
Get set to rock the park.
We're in Grand Teton National Park, getting ready for the adventure of a lifetime.
Grand Teton National Park is home to over 300,000 acres of lakes, wetlands, forests, and some of the youngest and most dramatic mountain peaks in the Rocky Mountains.
There is a lot to do here, but it's incredibly hard to take your eyes off of the mighty Teton Range.
Located in northwestern Wyoming, Grand Teton National Park is just 10 miles south of Yellowstone. It's best known for the dramatic peaks of the Teton Range that rise above the Jackson Hole Valley.
Oh man, you see that?
Oh yeah, there's some bison.
That's a herd.
Wow.
Oh, look over there too.
Bison are the largest land animal in North America, with bulls weighing upwards of 1,800 pounds. Their distinctive hump is made up of the muscles necessary to use their heads as snow plows in the winter, sweeping aside the snow to get to the grass beneath it.
Those are huge.
The Grand Tetons are part of the greater Yellowstone ecosystem, which is the only place in the lower 48 states where wild bison have roamed since prehistoric times.
You drive by the Tetons and your eyes just instantly go to the mountain, but you forget about the bison, the elk. Wolverines live here.
The wolverine is a tough little animal that weighs between 30 and 40 pounds. It looks more like a bear, but actually belongs to the weasel family. Wolverines are tenacious hunters, sometimes going after prey that is many times their size.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy place when it comes to wildlife.
One of the best introductions to the park is a wild ride along the River Road, 15 miles of unpaved track alongside the Snake River Valley.
This is where it begins.
Gravel road.
Beautiful. This is the best. Right now, it feels like we're going out on safari because we're looking for wildlife and we're just on this crazy road that's cutting straight through this valley.
Earthquakes built the Grand Tetons, and these dramatic peaks were pushed up along the west side of the Teton Fault. While on the east side, where we are, the ground dropped down to form the valley. That's why there are no foothills on this side. This road is so gnarly, you might only see 12 cars a day that are brave enough to hit it.
And you can see why. You gotta have a vehicle that's got a good high clearance on it. Oh man. Oh man, we got
Big
water.
puddle, big
we
puddle.
got water.
Great.
The mighty Snake River below us starts in Yellowstone and winds 50 miles through Grand Teton. Then it continues its 1,000-mile-long journey out to the Pacific. Each year, the channels of the river change course, and in a few years, this road could very well be gone.
On a remote road like this one, a spare tire and even an air compressor are essential, and it's a good idea to stock plenty of food and water.
We always think about that when we're hiking, but hey, you get stranded out here, 15 miles away from anything.
Yeah, you're
Be prepared.
You're in trouble. Okay, I gotta see how I even want to hit this. Whoa, whoa. Oh man, that was great. Oh dude, do you see that?
Oh, pronghorn.
Pronghorn have been living in North America for millions of years. Both sexes sport short, backwards curving horns with forward-pointing prongs, and that's where they get their name.
These guys are the fastest land mammal in North America, and only second in the world to the cheetah. When these guys want to, they can run over 50 miles an hour.
Pronghorn also take on the longest migration of any animal in the lower 48, clocking almost 300 miles each year.
Man, you see that? We're gonna be on top of that thing. That's the hope. Oh, that's not the hope. We're gonna do it.
It's crazy. It's the highest we'll ever have climbed, the most technical.
Never in my wildest dreams did I think we would be climbing the Grand Teton.
Oh, boy. Okay. It's gonna be a battle.
You ready?
I think so.
It's gonna be an early morning.
Yeah.
We're in Grand Teton National Park, about to take on the greatest technical and physical challenge we've ever faced, summiting the Grand Teton itself, nearly 14,000 feet of sheer rock.
This is gonna be insane. Today is just day one, and we've got a 7-mile hike where we're climbing 5,000 feet of elevation, and that's just to get to base camp.
And when we get there, we're gonna be at 11,660 feet. And that's just the starting point, really.
Yeah. This is basically a 24-hour trek with a little nap in between, because we go to bed, we wake up, and then we climb 2,000 more feet to the summit. Good morning.
Leading us on this climb is Brenton Reagan with Exum Mountain Guides. We're bringing a lot of layers because we need to be prepared for all sorts of weather conditions.
Let's hit the trail.
We're definitely making some progress up the side of the mountain. This is kind of the warm-up. The last 3 miles of today are probably gonna be pretty rough. Grabbing onto ropes, pulling ourselves onto boulders and across them. It's gonna be a good little tune-up for tomorrow.
Grand Teton National Park inspired me to come out to these places for the rest of my life. When I was 8 years old, I came to this park and looked up at a mountain and said,
I'm gonna hike up that mountain there.
"Where?"
Up that mountain.
And I actually did it. It was a much smaller mountain, of course.
Woohoo! Hello, America!
And now, we are on our way to the summit of the Grand Teton. Something just fitting about that.
Wow.
Woo!
Look at that lake.
Yeah, wow.
Glaciers shape this mountain, and this is what you call a moraine. It's the accumulation of boulders and debris that the glaciers left behind.
We've been hiking about 3.5 miles. And it's gonna start getting a lot steeper real quick.
We're on the climber's route now. Right in front of us are these massive boulders, just giving us a little taste of what we've got waiting for us tomorrow.
The terrain is tough.
Oh.
We're watching every step we take. The last thing we want to have happen is to roll an ankle before we even get to base camp.
Whew.
Base camp is above 11,000 feet, and right now, we're probably over the 10,000 foot mark, and it's starting to show. Right next to us is the enormous Middle Teton Glacier. You feel the wind start to pick up, the air becomes colder. It's starting to finally sink in. We are high up in the mountains.
By late afternoon, we've gained about 4,000 feet in elevation, and we still have another 1,000 to go to hit base camp. In order to reach the lower saddle where we'll be setting up camp, we're gonna be roped up and we're doing some climbing.
We're way up high, right in the middle of the Grand and the Middle Teton, and you can feel it.
But if you needed a reminder as to how high up we are, all you have to do is turn around and you can see the valley floor in back of you. It's not that far of a climb, but it's great practice. Looking at every handhold, our footholds, and next thing you know, we're at the top.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the lower saddle. All right, we made it. Awesome. Good job, you guys.
We've gotten to base camp. We've thrown on our layers, and we're just about to get settled in as the sun's going down.
Yeah, the sunset's incredible. This mountain range is amazing. But it's finally set in that we're climbing this thing tomorrow. The task ahead It's a little freaky. I mean, we're starting off our climb tomorrow in the pitch black.
You stare up at that mountaintop, and it almost is hard to comprehend that we can get up there.
Man, do I have some mad butterflies in my stomach.
It's 4 a.m. at the lower saddle of the Grand Teton. The sun won't rise for another 2 hours, but it's time to summit the mountain.
It's only the stars, the moon, and it's us. And when I look off, it's just nothing but black in this gigantic shadow of the Grand Teton.
As of now, I'm feeling real good. I got great sleep last night, and I'm ready for this.
We're starting this early because weather on the mountain is unpredictable, and we want to give ourselves the best chance possible to make it to the summit.
We all want to be on the same page so we can work together as a team. My life depends on Colton, his life depends on mine, and same with Brenton.
We're starting at 11,600 feet in elevation, but we've got another 2,000 feet to climb today, and almost all of it is straight up.
So after a short little hike up some rocks, we're right into the climbing. The sun is barely starting to peek up.
Okay, here we go.
Brenton's already at the top of this pitch, which is what you call a climbing route that requires safety ropes, and he's going to be belaying us from above.
Climb, Jack! Climbing!
Just watch that rope, make sure you don't get tangled in it.
One of the things we've learned about rock climbing is that you're supposed to just focus on where you're putting your feet and your hands. So having a headlamp is making that easier.
That's perfect.
All right.
I've been concentrating so hard that before I know it, I'm at the top of this pitch, and it's Colton's turn.
Climb, Colton! Climbing!
This is absolutely incredible. The sun is just starting to peek through. I can't believe I'm doing this. Onward and upward.
We're at about 13,000 feet, and we've hit the upper saddle, where we can take one of two routes. We'll be taking what's called the Owen Spalding route to the top.
It's less technical, but also there's more exposure.
Exposure is basically when you're looking down and see nothing but pure air for thousands and thousands of feet.
So we've been scrambling up these rocks for a while now, and there it is, our major challenge, the belly crawl. You don't have ledges below you, you've got a 2,000-foot cliff. The ropes are set, I'm on belay, and it's time to go. And I start to make moves. And as I'm doing it, I feel the rope cinch up every single time. And it's a nice feeling. If something were to happen, Brenton's got me.
Keep those feet low. There you go.
Then I'm just stepping over.
Yeah, step on over.
Woo! That is steep. This is the real deal.
As I'm moving along, I'm getting closer and closer. My confidence is going up. And finally, there I am.
Woo! That was intense. That was real intense.
I don't think I can do that.
Climb, Colton!
Climbing! Oh, baby. Oh. It really hits me. I'm afraid of heights, and this right here is the definition of that. It's not even a climb. I mean, it's more of a shuffle, where you're holding on to a tiny sliver of rock and shuffling your feet along a sheer vertical cliff.
Ooh. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Oh. Holy cow, that's a long way down. Oh. That down there is what they call Valhalla, which in other words is heaven. One day I hope to be there, but today is not that day. Oh. Oh, man. Whew. Okay. All right. Yeah, my heart was pounding. It's just mind over matter. You just gotta get in your head on making it to the top.
Yeah, one step at a time.
We've got about 500 feet left, but it's 500 vertical feet, the majority of which is up the next obstacle, called Owen's Chimney.
A chimney is a difficult climb in a sense that it's straight up and there's walls on each side of you. All right. It seems like there are some good places to put your hands and your feet, but then it's also covered in ice.
It's definitely slick on this ice.
Nice job, Jack. Just stay on the dry rock.
Looking for my next handhold.
That's why you wear a helmet.
As I'm climbing, my hands are getting colder and colder. It's brutal up here.
I'm worried it could make it harder for Colton to keep a strong grip.
Oh, that's icy. Ooh, that's icy. All right.
As I start out, the holds are pretty obvious, and I'm in a good rhythm, climbing this thing.
Slowly but surely, we're getting there.
Until I get to about the halfway point. And those obvious holds, they disappear. And the ice is now more abundant than it has been on this entire climb.
How you doing, Colton?
It's icy, man.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. I had to rely on the feet.
And every time I seem to put my foot down or try to reach for a handhold, I can feel it just slip away.
We're in Wyoming, high on the side of the Grand Teton, waiting for Colton to get past the final major obstacle, which is full of slippery ice.
In the past, this is a point where I might have freaked out, but I just take a moment and I'm able to find where my foot is supposed to go, and I make my move up. Just like that, I see Jack and I see Brenton. We're through another obstacle. We're that much closer to getting to the top of this thing.
All right, man, let's do this.
We make our final push to get to the summit, and this beam of sunlight just comes in, and all of a sudden, all those emotions that we've had over the past 2 days of nervousness and anxiety and fear, they're replaced with this feeling of just joy. Woo.
Oh, man. We did it, man.
Did it.
Oh, man.
Yes!
Wow.
We're on the summit of the Grand Teton. I've been looking at this thing my whole life. You know what? We did it.
It's unbelievable that you're able to come to these national parks, look up at these mountains, and with the right help, with the focus and determination, you can do it.
Seriously, we all have our mountains. In some way, shape, or form. I'm afraid of heights.
It's okay to be afraid, but either you control your fear or you let the fear control you. Today, we controlled the fear. You realize that we're up at 13,775 feet.
Once you get past that fear, you start digging into who you are. And you start to realize that anything is possible. It's incredible. Look at how much you can see up here.
We thought reaching the summit of the Grand Teton would be a satisfying goal, but it's turned out to be quite the opposite. It's a starting line, and we've got everywhere to go from here. And remember,
Hey, if we can do it,
So can you. So the next chance you get, go out and rock the park.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave any questions or comments that you have.
And please subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to come.